Let's get down to business. Ford is scaling back its EV strategy. Very interesting, postponing some vehicle and scrapping others entirely.
Yeah, and it actually is kind of backpedaling from what they said about a month ago, Cynthia. You might remember we were talking about some canceled plans by Ford for the Oakville assembly plant and what their strategy was for that. So let's backtrack a little bit. So back then, a month ago, Ford said that it was delaying a project to build a 3-row SUV that was fully electric at the Oakville assembly plant, and instead they was going to be building a heavy-duty form of gas-powered pickup truck. But now Ford is saying instead of delaying that 3-row fully electric SUV plan, they're just not going to make it at all. So that's going back on a plan, again, only a month later. So they're still trying to reevaluate their future electric vehicle sales. They still want to make them, but it's just not going to happen as quickly as originally thought. So they still are focusing on it, Cynthia, but maybe lowering their investments right now, going more towards hybrids and investing more in gas-powered vehicles, at least for the next few years.
Okay, interesting. Now, despite hitting a record low this week, it looks like Donald Trump's media stock is bouncing back. We were just talking about how it was down.
It's very volatile, Cynthia. It's one of those stocks, if you're going to buy it, maybe don't watch it every day because it might make you lose sleep. But yes, today we saw it hit double digits, up by 13% today, Cynthia. And it's been down to its lowest level since going public just yesterday, so a big rebound today. And what really caused all of this? Well, it's kind of tough to say, but it's worth noting the stock has been on a downward slope for about 2 weeks as Trump's poll numbers slip compared to Kamala Harris and the Democratic National Convention takes place. Some are saying that it could be motivated by, well, there could be some people trying to buy the dip on the stock because there's word that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. may be considering suspending his presidential campaign and endorse Trump's candidacy. Now, that's not actually confirmed yet, Cynthia, but maybe investors are trying to get ahead of things because if that happens, in theory, that could boost Trump's poll numbers.
So many more twists and turns, I'm sure, in this election. Okay, so while many retailers are struggling, the parent company of 2 chains is seeing some strange sales. What's that about?
Well, basically, investors are trying to understand the mindset of the current consumer, Cynthia. And generally, people aren't spending as much. We know that. Things are just so expensive now. But what we found out from retailers like the parent company of Winners, HomeSense, and others, the company is called TJX, well, they actually had really good earnings last quarter. And so much so that they've increased their expectations for the full year, signaling that, well, and people do still like to spend things like, things at Winners, good value for things like clothes, and HomeSense for household goods. So they still are spending. It's just they're searching a little harder for those bargains and better value where they can, Cynthia.
Trying to do more with less, Ari.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks again. As always, great to see you.
You as well.